All right, guys, today on The Art of Plating, we're gonna talk about a few summer dishes that are gonna help you on these hot, sweltering days. We've got a cool watermelon gazpacho. We're gonna serve it with a little crostini. It has some watermelons, some heirloom tomatoes, cucumbers, mint, white balsamic olive oil. Gonna be nice. And then we're gonna also serve that with an endive salad, little bitter greens there, some feta, some peaches, a little vinaigrette. Stay tuned. All right, guys, it's sweltering outside, super hot. We're gonna make some nice, cool dishes to help with that. We're gonna start with an endive salad with some peaches, feta, a little bit of fresh dill, some hazelnuts, a little quick vinaigrette just to bring everything together and see what happens. All right, let's start with our endive, the star of the show. Endive is a super bitter green. It's very nice looking. And so we just want to take the leaves and peel them back and create these little cups. These are great for a little appetizer. You could do smoked salmon in here. You could do a little scallops with polenta, just like we did on our last show. The possibilities are endless. All right, now we got to cut it again here. Compost the ends. All right, keep peeling all the way down. Good to the last drop. All right. All right, so super bitter. We need to counter that bitterness with something sweet. What are we gonna use? Well, we have a peach. That's a great start. And also our vinaigrette has honey in it, which is a nice, sweet, natural component. Super good for your allergies. Buying local honey can help you to fight that springtime haze that you may get. And call that a day. All right, we're gonna throw the peach into the party. Love peaches. When they're in season, I can't get enough of them. Nice yellow peach here. I'm just gonna cut all the way around. And I want some nice, thick kind of chunks in here so you know when you bite down into a piece of peach. Not everything has to be sliced super thin. We're gonna do some like that. There's also something to be said for cutting things differently so you have different shapes, flavors, textures going on in there. So don't just keep everything uniform, make it the same. That's boring. So let's switch it up a little bit, right? All right, let's get our briny, salty feta in the party. We're just gonna throw everything in, and we're gonna add some radish. We've used the mandolin before, but we're also gonna show you how easy they are just to get some nice slices. Once again, throwing in some different shapes in there. All right, throw that guy in the bowl. All right, let's make our vinaigrette. So we have in here some local honey, a little splash of Dijon. I'm gonna add in some salt, and we have some just rice wine vinegar here. I'm gonna give this a mix. Super loose, kind of a broken little vinaigrette. We don't want it to be anything more than that. About a tablespoon of olive oil. All right, give it a little mix. Give it a taste. It's really nice. You can get everything separately there, which is what we wanted. It's gonna offer different bites throughout the plate. You could definitely get the honey there. You get the Dijon, the acidity, the oil kind of brings it all together. And we're just gonna pour it right onto the greens. We're gonna add in some fresh dill here. We're gonna take a break. When we come back, we're gonna finish this salad. We're gonna add some tomatoes. We've got some pea vines for a little bit of texture in there. We're gonna plate it, show you how it all looks. Stay tuned. All right, guys, welcome back. We're gonna wrap up our salad here. We're gonna add in some pea vines. These are available this time of the year. That's spring, summertime season. I think one thing that people forget about when they make salads is to season their salads, right? All of this good, delicious flavors went into the bowl, into the party, but we need to add a little bit of salt to bring all that out. And that's it. Pretty easy here. I'm just going to toss everything, make sure it's well coated. Set it off to the side and plate. Now we're going to follow the edge of the plate. We're going to crisscross. We're going to leave lots of negative space. We're going to have our linear motion that we've talked about before. And we're going to have lots of fun textures going on as well. All right, so look at that little endive cup. Perfectly made for that feta cheese. Love it, love it, love it. Let's get a nice little small piece on the end. And then what I didn't want to do here was end with that. You see how it kind of breaks the eye and it doesn't continue that curve, but just one more piece to follow that motion. Made it all come back together and look nice again. So let's get some of our fun goodies that we brought together on the inside here. Some peaches, some feta. A little bit more feta on the top because I love feta. And some delicious hazelnuts, and these are going to give it the crunch that it really needs. We're going to be pretty sparing with this. We want it to go into every bite, but we don't want it to be seen in every bite. So what are we going to do to solve that? We're going to hide some of it. We're going to gently pick some up here. Maybe a few more little bits here. So it's going to help us to make everything stand up on the plate even more so. And when the final dish is composed, it's going to make sense because we definitely want that texture, but it's not going to detract from the beauty of the endive. And then how about a little fresh mint right on top? Just letting it fall from above. All right, how beautiful is that? There you go, fresh endive salad, peaches, feta, some pea vines, hazelnuts, and a little vinaigrette to go on top. All right, enjoy. All right, guys, here we go. We're gonna make a peach gazpacho. This is super fresh, ready for the summer months, and the theme of today's show. So we have some beautiful, nice cubed watermelon. We have a nice heirloom tomato, some cucumber. We have some mint and white balsamic vinegar, a little honey just to balance out the vinegar so it doesn't get too acidic. We're not gonna need much. We're gonna have to taste often just to see where everything is. Crucial ingredient, and salt. Let's get started. All right, nice serrated blade is always gonna help you to cut through any tomatoes, make it super easy on you. Let's cut off the end there. All right, cut those one more time. Now, what we're gonna do is we're gonna start this in layers. We're gonna start with just some of the tomatoes by themselves, because if we put everything in there, it won't have a chance to spin So we're going to give it a chance. And some of our white balsamic vinegar, a scotch of honey drizzled from above, some sliced cherry tomatoes that we have lying around, cucumber, skin on, totally fine. There we go. Let's get this going. Doesn't want to turn. What are we going to do? We need to add more liquid. So we'll add some olive oil. And we're going to add some salt as well. That's going to pull some of the moisture out of the vegetables already in the container, and more liquid in the form of oil. We need it for the recipe anyways. We'll go ahead and add it in now. Let it sink down to the bottom. See if that helps out. All right, that's it. We just want barely blended. We want some texture in there. Now let's add our cucumbers into the blender. We used a half a cucumber there. Once again, barely blended. If we over blend it, it's not going to be as pleasant. We want some texture. And the star of the show, some beautiful watermelon coming into the first part of its season here. Got lucky with this one. All those natural sugars are where they need to be. This is about it on the blender. We don't want to fill past this line. There's probably a fill line on there. And there we go. All right, let's taste for salt. Let's add some mint here. Just pick some leaves. We don't need to chop it. I'm just going right into the blender. All right. Once again, we're just pulsing this a few seconds at a time. Let's give it a taste. All right, so what I'm getting here is not enough salt. I get the mint in the beginning, but that's about it. We don't have any acidity with the dish. Remember, we added the honey. That's also gonna tone down that acidity as well. So anytime you're tasting something and you can't quite pick out flavors, it's because there's not enough salt. When we train new chefs, we always talk about adding the right amount of salt level. I always liken it to, if you don't have the proper salt level, it's like listening to music with some earphones on. You can tell something's going on there, but you can't quite pick anything out. And then when you have that proper salt level, it's like you're looking almost at a sound wave. You can see the highs, the lows, the acidity, the herbaceousness, the umami. All those things are going to be so much easier to pick out. So if you're ever struggling with a dish and you're like, man, I've added everything in the recipe, or I'm going off my instincts and everything that feels right, I've made this a million times before, but it doesn't come out right, your problem is salt level. So that being said, we're gonna taste it, we're gonna adjust, we're gonna taste it, we're gonna adjust. And you'll see when you do this at home that it's really gonna come to life whenever it has the proper salt level. Best friends in the kitchen, I don't care how many times you've made a dish before, have you a full stack of tasting spoons nearby. It's gonna make your life easier. Doesn't matter if you've made it before, you gotta taste it, taste it, taste it. So just a quick little blend, that's it. We just wanna incorporate that salt. It's already coming to life a little bit more. I wanna feel a little more acidity in there. We're gonna add a little bit more of that. I know I need more salt because I couldn't quite pick everything out. And that's really what I'm going for. It doesn't need to be salty, just properly seasoned. And that is absolutely the difference between mediocre food and amazing food, is properly seasoned, products, vegetables, meats, sauces alike. When they really come to life is when the chef making it has properly seasoned it. Not too high, not too low, but the right amount of salinity in the dish. Let's give this one more pulse. I think this is gonna be a good one here. All right, there we go. We got the acidity, it hits you on the back of the tongue. We've got the salt. Everything came together nicely. One other thing I wanted to talk about as well is working clean. I go back to a restaurant that I worked, and this is back in my restaurant days before starting my personal chef company, Down to Earth Cuisine. And the chef there was not nice about letting us know if our station was well kempt or not. And if it wasn't, get off the line, get it fixed now. And so that really started to change the way that I approached food. It made me work super organized, super clean. I have my board here, the immediate ingredients that I'm working with on that dish and nothing else. And looking back, there was a clear, definitive change in the food that I made there. And it was definitely headed in a different direction. So work clean, work organized, work on your salt level, and everything else follows that. Trust me. All right, let's plate this guy. You ready? When we come back, we're gonna pull it all together. We're gonna serve it with some nice crostinis, put it on a plate, take a bite, try it out. Stay tuned. All right, guys, so we have our station cleaned up here, and we are ready to go. We have the watermelon, heirloom tomato, cucumber, mint, white balsamic, olive oil, touch of honey just to round it off so it's not so sharp on the tongue. We talked about properly seasoning things. We talked about working clean, and you'll always see that on this show. All right. Definitely still wanted some texture there. We're gonna pull in some mint, a few leaves on top, just rustically tearing it. We're also going to serve some olive oil with it, so we'll get a little drizzle going on here. And we have some textural difference that we absolutely need with the crostinis. And you will be set. All right, so there you have it. We're going to add a little drizzle of olive oil over the top, make it look nice. Call it a day. We're gonna add a little fresh cracked pepper as well, not much. And there you have it. Watermelon gazpacho, white balsamic with some crostinis. Scoop it up, enjoy it. Stay cool out there, friends. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in for today's episode of The Art of Plating. We went over a few summertime friendly dishes that's gonna help you to stay cool, beat the heat out there. One of those dishes is this endive salad. We served it with a nice broken little vinaigrette. It was intentionally broken, some peaches, feta, some hazelnuts, and a little fresh dill on top. This will help you stay cool in the summer months. Stay tuned for the next episode.